after you've signed your release and completed your initial paperwork, you may have already received a specific offer. And if you've received that specific offer, then generally that means that we've moved through the claims settlement administration process. But if you haven't received a specific number, then that oftentimes means there needs to be a claims settlement administration process that's occurring next to figure out what your specific number will be. And oftentimes in these settlements, in order to figure out what your specific number will be, the claims administrator needs to figure out and adjudicate or make decisions on every single person's claim in the settlement in order to figure out every single person's settlement offer within that settlement. So the claims administration process can take quite a bit of time in some cases. So again, it seems a little frustrating because all of a sudden we're asking you to complete paperwork, get it back to us in weeks or months, and then there can be this process where it takes 6, 9 months, sometimes a year to get through a lengthy claims settlement process. Now, once that claims settlement process is done, then we will know and be able to communicate what your final settlement offer is in the case. Once we know your final settlement offer, that doesn't mean that we are then able to distribute funds to you. There are a couple other issues that have to be dealt with even after we know what your final settlement offer is. A couple of those issues are, one, if people have had a bankruptcy in their past, we have to look and make sure that the bankruptcy or the trustee doesn't have some sort of claim to your settlement funds. So that's one issue that we've got to look at. Another issue is if in most of these cases, people have had health insurance that paid for medical treatment that's related to the claims that were made in the lawsuit. And so with that, the health insurance companies or the governmental entities like Medicare, Medicaid, TRICARE, they oftentimes have a claim to a portion of your settlement proceeds. They have the right, either via statute for the governmental entities or via the private contract that you have with private health insurance companies like Blue Cross Blue Shield, they have the right to be able to get a portion of those settlement proceeds. Now, oftentimes I'll be asked, is this going to take up the entire settlement? No, but there is a process where there's going to be either we're going to be negotiating those health insurance liens, or oftentimes we are working with a company who, does almost nothing else other than negotiate thousands and thousands, oftentimes hundreds of thousands they've got a long history of negotiating health insurance liens with these governmental entities or these private entities. And so that process can take some time. That process, there are some entities where it can be kind of quick. Like we find out, okay, we've gone through this due diligence process and they don't have a right to a portion of those settlement proceeds. There are some states where that occurs with some various private health insurance companies. So we're able to know they don't get any of the funds. But oftentimes in these cases, most of these insurance companies do have the right to a portion of those settlement funds. And then there can be some of this, we're at the mercy of how cooperative is the health insurance company in the lien negotiation process or the governmental entity. There are some health insurance companies that are much more cooperative, and we have a quicker process. Quicker process could be 3 to 6 months. But there are some entities that are not as cooperative. Sometimes the government can be kind of slow, cutting through the red tape and getting an agreement with the government through these multiple steps on negotiating their health insurance liens. Unfortunately, some of the slowest would be our military and their insurance companies, the VA, the TRICARE. They've been notoriously slow. Or if you have a private ERISA health insurance program, those ones can be very slow. And so I have seen cases where those take more than a year to be able to negotiate and reach a resolution with those health insurance companies or governmental entities.